12 to 11 to 10 to 9:30 to 9. No, I came back from France and I was just like, okay, this might be a little bit jet lag, but I'll work with it. And now I can't not go to sleep at 11 and wake up at 8. But 5 is still pretty extreme. But we're fueled by passion. TY passion. Oh yeah. It's a best of 3 still. The winner of this is in a qualifying match of the winner's bracket. As I say that, now I'm second guessing myself. Yes! And both of these players so want to go to Poland. Who wants to go more, though? Who wants to go more? Actually, I have something to talk about for that. Some cute things. After the introduction. The top right is the right there, and it is Splice TY. On the bottom left is the blue Protoss. It is a deer. So, who wants to go more? Obviously, both of them really want to go. But TY, you know, I am champion. He's got some history there. But he's also been practicing English on his stream. And it's, like, really cool. I don't want to use the word cute because some people don't like that. But I think it's really cute. And he's going to use it while he's in IEM. So that he can talk to his fans. And it makes me cry. Okay? It's so pure. It's so wholesome memes, you know? Deer, I don't know what Deer's doing. Deer just wants to, like, win money and, like, have prestige and, like, whatever. Who cares? Nah, Deer's actually really cool. Deer has had those moments where, yeah, he's the next best Protoss. No. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. He kind of has those spikes and it's, you get excited about it and people start to be like, you know, no, he's like really, he's a very fun player to watch. He's a really good Protoss. Like, yeah, stop cheering against him, guys. And well, unfortunately, inevitably, Deer's name doesn't hold the same weight as some of these other guys, right? Like, there's this weird thing that happens that even despite performances that are good or hell, even amazing, even responses to things that are complicated, they have this amazing response unless it's really truly highlighted. Like, plenty of people talk about it, share clips about it, share, you know, analysis about it. There's some players that they go under the radar despite technically being on the radar, right? Like, they win stuff, they do stuff, they're good, they beat good players, and they stay under the radar. You know, Deer beats TY, and people go, oh, man, TY lost, and then they don't really think about Deer. He's kind of that guy right now. And then, like, the 12 Deer fans in the audience are like, no, he's super popular, and I'm like, is he? Is he, though? Even Trap isn't more popular, but I feel like that's because Gemini is so much a Trap fan. This is all coming down to just, you know, how excited people are going to be if either one of them qualifies. It's not really the importance of it. Right? The more important thing is who actually wins this damn game, this series. And we do not have a proxy, so TY might be going for that tank push. Probably going for the tank push, but we do not have proxies. I was going to say at the beginning, too, because someone commented in chat, like, oh, we're going to see a bunch of proxies. Like, TY wasn't really proxying a lot. He was doing tank pushes, yeah, but not really proxying. He doesn't get to see the Oracle. It's a very difficult map to get the Reaper Scout to do things right. But he still will auto-prepare against the Oracle. So the Marines are somewhat in place. The Oracle went to them directly in the first place. There is a Widow Mine. Oh my god, that actually hit it? I didn't think I got close enough. Okay, well that's great then. There is a Widow Mine in every single potential location for harassment, was what I was gonna say. Natural and well as, I think it was behind the barracks, something like that. But now, with the Oracle gone, TY could, not entirely safely, but could bank on it being safe. You could pick up all those Widow Mines and go across the map and try and get some damage done. But there could be a second Oracle, and there could be a Phoenix waiting, which is more likely. That a Phoenix is waiting for the medevac, which you don't really want to lose. Even if the Widow Mines get some decent shots, don't lose it. Especially because so many of these tank pushes are happening very early on Cerulean Fall, and they usually require the medevac with them. So it's already, like, in a weird way, the Stargate's already a deterrent to harassment. we'll see Terrans in a macro game, maybe just trying and get the decent shots off. Medevac dies or not, like, okay, whatever. But on this map, with these players in this meta, I'm thinking TY is more focused on doing whatever tank push he has in mind. Whatever, you know, whether it's right now, which I actually guess he's not going to do it. He's not a second tank on the way. Or a bit later. If it's not a tank push off of 2 bases, then it should be a 3rd CC at some point. And maybe an all-in then. But I don't know if TY's... I mean... I think the last time we saw him at TVP... there was maybe 1 proxy game, 1 tank push game, and then 1... Oh, another tank push game where he got Tempest Rush. That's right. That was sad. But I don't know if he's playing to this Supreme late game. A lot of the European Terrans were for WCS qualifiers. A lot of them were playing macro games. You know, totally normal TVPs as we would expect. But the Koreans, almost all, were changing things up. Tank pushes, 1, 2, 3 bases. All-ins off of 3 base, SEV pools, you know, those types of things. TY might still be trying to play normal TVP. So if that's the case, Dier's gone away with the 3rd Nexus, fully saturated just about, almost. Hasn't taken the gases yet. He's gone to Blink and +1. He has not had to worry about any tank attacks, and actually could be out in the map with his Stalkers now that Blink's finished up, but the timing is very quickly disappearing for that pressure to be applied, because that's when Stim's done, then you have to get out of there. So it looks like Dier is just going to stay at home. It really seems like Dier was expecting something. Of course, the medevac drop, right, is something you would expect, but yeah, okay, Terrans sometimes don't do that. But then otherwise, it's something else. So he's got all these units flying around here, checking for Liberators, medevacs, Doom drops, the pushes. This probe finds the push eventually, finally, coming towards what is now determined to be the middle of the bases. And Dier can now get set up in position, collect all of his army units that were being used to scout, as the Phoenix will be useful to take out the Liberator and or pick up the tank. That's a decent number of Widow Mines. This is still a very strong push, despite not being any sort of all-in. Behind this, TY is getting a 3rd CC on location. Charge is not anywhere close to being done. Neither is +1 armor. Dier is actually having a lot of trouble with this. He doesn't have a lot of strong units to deal with this push. Is it actually just game? This is actually just game. Yeah, it is. The Phoenixes were best used probably to splash on top of the army. And they just draw the Widowmine splash top of the army. But TY was already away from all that, and even though that's usually a big old, like, please kill these units sign when your Liberators and tanks, and even your Widowmines are all alone, in that case, it was perfect. The Widowmine took out the Phoenix. Liberator and tank stopped the Stalkers from being too aggressive on top of them. And, that ended up looking really super easy. Didn't expect the game to end that quickly. I feel like Dier was really overthinking the potential earlier pushes. But I also don't really like that he didn't use the Stalkers. He didn't get that quick of Blink, though, so that's one of the reasons we didn't see a lot of Stalker usage, but usually we see some type of pickoffs go down before the army makes it across the map. And I think we just usually see Charge a little bit closer timed to it. Well, easy peasy lemon squeezy. TY gets the first game. We're on to Kylos Junction in the top left. It's the Red Terran. It is TY. Going for a proxy. In the bottom right is the Blue Protoss. It is Dier. So Dier not really showing us a lot in that game. It's weird though, 'cause especially when it comes to, like, the very tip top of the pros. Like, you'll see a couple of games that do look really just like, oh, okay, so I guess TY is just straight up better. But you don't stick to that. You don't say, well, I guess he really is better. The second game is going to be a cakewalk, which I'm sure a lot of Twitch people are doing right now. But you're not supposed to. Deer most likely overestimated whatever earlier push could have come and built a little too much into that, as opposed to getting, you know, quicker charge, skipping XY precaution, only going for one Phoenix instead of the 3, you know, something along those lines, right? Something happened where he was too late to a couple of really important things. Pure macro game to pure macro game. So it looks silly. It looks so easy. But then the next game, Deer, like, turns it on, starts reading more into what TY could possibly be doing, starts playing to maybe more the player than what he thinks is going to happen in the matchup, and takes game number 2. But this is being changed up drastically. So in this case, Deer should be very aware of aggression coming. But he has to, again, kind of calculate exactly what type of aggression, when he should expect it, what corners can he still cut. He sees the factory back at home, so should assume that it is... Oh, bother. So should assume that it is a 1 Rax on the other side of the map. But, oh, what is this? I think this is the last proxy we saw TY do. I want to say it was TY who did this proxy in the last Korean server qualifier, and he's doing it again. It's tricky. The Protoss is now expecting you to either, some people command center after the factory, although the gases were all still filled. A lot of times they expect a starport to be put down in proxy or at home, either one, right? But the point is, not a second factory. And instead you do send down a second factory, and you just pair up with whatever Cyclone pops out of here. And while it's a little bit late to the party, the simple surprise factor of 2 Cyclones suddenly in your face is dangerous. Or in this case, actually, it's going to be a Cyclone and Widowmine. Is that what he did last time? That might have been what he did last time. And they went into a tank push, maybe? Ah, I'm fuzzy on that one. Still, you're going to have a lot of units that you weren't expecting. He is going to transfer over, so maybe a lot of Widowmines? We do have the Cyclone upgrade as well. Deer is not going to have any follow-up scout, which is why this build works. This is such a long time not to be pressuring when you're on one base, but since Deer is still trying to go through all the things that you could possibly be doing and defending against things like Banshees or a Liberator, which you're not doing, which could be a waste of minerals, the eventual attack, here we go now, is going to be quite a surprise. A shield battery is not wasted in the main base, but it's also not done at the natural quite yet. There's not a lot of units either, as we have Blink on the way. That's one of the hardest build orders to use against a proxy. Unless you're really confident that you know exactly what proxy it is, you know that it's eventually going to want to ban something like that. Going into Twilight Council is a really difficult thing to make work against this, more direct head-on type of proxy. And they do send units just towards the main, towards the natural. And they just try and kill you outright. Blink takes a long time to finish in this type of situation. Sentry's taken down, shield battery's taken down. Second shield battery finishes just in the nick of time. It's not... Oh, God, he barely doesn't get that Cyclone. But there's nothing a shield battery can do about a bunker. So the bunker's going to stay up, more units are going to be on the way, and that Cyclone is going to be repaired. Twilight Council not only takes a long time to be useful, you're going to have Blink for a while, it also doesn't give you access to things like an Observer, or Revelation, or Phoenix pickups, or Immortals, which bust through most of these things. It is just giving you access to slightly better Stalkers, which in this case, not really going to help. If he blinks on top of the Cyclone to take him down, the bunker will do some significant damage, and the Widowmines will do the most damage. If he chooses to micro against the Stalkers to break their lock-ons, he still has to deal with a growing army on his front door. Like, he still won't be able to take out the Cyclones as much as he tries to use the Blink micro. Well, as I say that, the SCVs have died, so that's maybe where he's going to win out. Not really a chance to get Drilling Claws in the situation either, so... He can also Blink micro against the Widowmines, but man, is it making it tough. It is so tough. SCVs are pulled! Oh! Just a little bit too late, so the bunker does in fact go down. There's the Widowmine finally getting that shot off on the Stalkers. The count has grown, even though a lot of them are very weak, and TY is going to retreat, but for now. This is not a full retreat. And in fact, now that tanks are out, the Stalkers are going to look extra bad. He loses 2 of them, and a couple of them still very weak. Shield batteries, again, helpful defensively, but can't really help him when he tries to push out and stop this attack from even forming. I'm not saying if he went for a Robo that an Immortal's out and is already pushing this back, but it seems like more often the better choice. A Robo is finally done and producing an Immortal. We'll see if that's going to come out in time or not. Cyclone's helpful to push forward as the tanks now siege up. They're going to take out these chargeless Zealots, and they're going to even be great at taking out the Immortal, because if they lock on and run away, exactly, then the shield will be gone. Good focus fire on the tanks on that, and then easy peasy cleanup on the Stalkers. Deer not expecting this type of push. Is unfortunately going to lose 2-0 to this Terran, who has had some troubles. He's been struggling in the other qualifiers for IEM. He tried the North American one, didn't make it through. And he tried the other Korean one, didn't make it through. But this qualifier seems to be working out quite well for him. GG.